Hello, people. Let's keep it moving. It is Wednesday, the 13th of December. Cheers, everyone. So, update on my neighbor cousin. You folks that watch me regularly know, or by now should have heard that when I mention my neighbor, I'm talking about my cousin Ray. Ray is on my mom's side of my family. He's 10 years older than me. We've been living next to each other for about, I lose track now. It's been at least 30 years now. And when I bought the house, apparently he and his wife moved in shortly after I bought this house. They bought that house. I didn't even notice. It wasn't until maybe about 20 years ago that he was out working in his garden, and I was doing something, coming and going, and he stopped me and said, "Hey, I think we're related." I said, "What?" And sure enough, we are. So my cousin is fine. Um, People wanting some follow up on yesterday. That call, the way the video ended yesterday was I got a call from Ray, and it was Ray at the hospital. He had gone ahead. Okay, so he'd gone and gone to the hospital. Long story short, two things. My cousin is an older, stubborn man, stuck in his ways, ex-alcoholic. Okay, he's of an old mindset of, can I borrow a cup of sugar? I'll get it back to you next week. To the point of, if you give me an inch, I'll take a mile, and that's what's happened here. I've I've dealt with Ray going to the ER 3 times in the last 2 weeks because, you know, I let him know a while back I'm family, I'm here, But Blake was by almost Freudian slip. That'll come. But Ray doesn't take care of himself and he eats bad. He has a bad diet like a lot of older people who eat too much fried food and stuff. I don't eat a lot of fried food. I'm glad I figured that out. So anyway, when I answer the phone, when I stop the video, it's him and he's asking, "Can you come get me?" So I went to get him. And when he gets in the car, I said, "Ray, what is going on with you? We're family, and I've been through some shit with him, so I don't mince words. I'm not mean. I'm direct, like family. What was it this time?" And he said it right away. I overdid it. He didn't have to go to the ER. His blood sugars dumped because of what he was eating, so he started to feel that diabetic reaction. I'm not diabetic, but I've had days where if I keep doing this, I'll be pre-diabetic and diabetic, where I have the thing where you go into a diabetic coma, basically, for a short bit. But because of my background, I know what to do, and he also knew what to do, but he messed up and freaked out. And anyway, long story short, I deleted one comment yesterday when someone had the nerve to tell me, as though they know my business, "Well, wouldn't hurt you to just get up and go check on your neighbor, go next door." I don't need to know that. I already know. See, this is why I get like this, because people get a little bit of information and they think they know what's going on. Y'all don't know what the fuck's going on over here. I already knew. I don't need to go checking and worrying about Ray. I know, okay? Jeez. That comment just kind of got me thinking. I'll bet that's the kind of person, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the sort of person that's a busybody, and instead of helping others, gets in the way, thinking they're helping. That was one of the biggest lessons I learned in this, working in hospitals and in psychology. That some of the biggest problem people are the ones who are saying, "I can help, I'll do it, I'll save the day." The problem is they're caught up in their own ego. me. What can I do? And help is not about you. Help is about doing something for the person that needs the help. And I saw this many times in the hospitals and in the psych wards where supposedly well-meaning people, nurses, even doctors, make really stupid decisions, you know. And I've even seen people get hurt physically from someone insisting that they're helping, and they're caught in their head not paying attention to the situation. Really, very much a parallel to what I was sharing about playing music with people that you regard highly or you are intimidated by. It's all in the head. So, frankly, I've only heard from a handful of people regarding the muse. I'm thinking it's going to be a risk regarding making the money back, but I'm probably going to go ahead and order a third. This will be the third run of 100 of these. I'm thinking I'll probably go ahead and do that today and just take the risk, and just go from there, okay? I don't have any records to, I don't think I have, oh, well, I'm just going to riff, okay? Cheers, people. Yes, I love working with Hank Red. I hope we get together tomorrow. Usually it's Tuesday or Thursday we get together. But he's healed up and he's gone back to work. He's just, to me, a really wonderful person. He doesn't have to work. And as I see some of your comments where you're picking up on the fact that I'm working with this legendary musician, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, and it's a blessing, and it's a privilege to do this, because much more is happening besides making music. It's like it was meant to be, you know. His background, you know, he's been sharing with me. He's quite the guy. So this is not an official best of, because it's not the end of the year, but this is sitting out. And it's an album that I bought this year, that came out this year. So I can say that this is one of my best of the year albums. Yussef Dayes, Black Classical Music. Blake finally stopped by last night. We're going to try to get started Saturday on the Muse Part 2. I played him some of the new stuff I'm working on. And some of the new stuff I'm working on, I've already decided to replace some of the tones I chose beforehand for the Muse 2, because I'm saying this is dope, and this has to come out. Now, this Yussef Dayes, which I got on the limited edition white vinyl, I'm underwhelmed by this. It's like, this really is kind of like background music, you know. What I like about it, his drumming is nice. A couple of things. Let me get these thoughts out, because I noticed it's about Lorraine's album too, and a couple other albums. It seems to be a trend, the way that people are recording drums, that they sound a little boxy, not really very clear. You know, I, for one, even though people complain about 80s production, one of the things I loved about 80s production moving forward was the way that drums came into prominence, and good, clear drum tracks. And we're having the opposite. Just like in hip hop, we had the trend where people wanted broken beats. They didn't want stuff quantized. At first, that drove me nuts. I still don't think it sounds very cool. I was just listening to something where it's like, the beat is broken. That's what it sounds like to me. Quantize that shit. So the drums on here sound kind of muddy the way they're recorded. They sound that way on Lorraine's album. Here's another new album. There are a couple newer albums where I've heard this, and it's like, well, if there's one criticism I have, is that I would record the drums differently to make it sound like the drums are all old and stuff. And then I've already been through that, you know. I want to hear the drums clear. There was something else I was going to say, and it's gone. But I will include that as an album of the year, mainly because it came out this year. I'm looking down here. So I had a chance to play some stuff for Blake because, you know, I love to play music for Blake. He listens really well. And the thing that really got his ear last night was Horse Lords. Remember I was telling you about this band, Horse Lords? They use polyrhythms very nicely. If you want to call it math rock, you can. I don't like that term. This is just really good. And Blake is a cool head. He picked up on it right away. Whoa, what is this? And I like that the way he will respond when he likes something. He'll get, what is this? Okay, so John Walker, I appreciate that you'd like to see my folk albums, but I've got a ton, and I can't even remember them all. And I'm just not going to do it right now. That would be quite a search to find all the folk rock albums. And I've got them from all over the world, not just England and Ireland and France. I've got stuff from South America and India, Africa, Russia. I do have music from all over the world. That was one of my early things. After Beatlemania was getting turned on to all the music from the continent, I wanted to hear music from every country, and I've tried to. So if I didn't say this, I only heard from a handful of people, but I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and order another 100. I've heard from maybe 6 or 7 people who said they would buy it. I'm really proud of it, and I only have my personal copies. I made the music, so I have the music, but as an artifact, I'm really proud of this, and I only have 2 copies of it myself, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and order up another 100. I will, folks. I will. Okay, I'm sitting here kind of thinking about, show some records, Dereck. How are you going to do it? Because you didn't prepare. The folk thing was like, that's too much. They're all over. If I can get lucky and see 1 or 2 right quick, I'll pull those. How's that? I'll do that. Okay, so here I see a couple that I can pull. I've shown these before, but like I said, I just saw, I don't keep track of time like some people do, always marking anniversaries, deaths, and births. I forget, and I just keep going. So I've been on YouTube since 2006. Wow, that's a long time. So that's a lot of videos. So what I'm saying is the 2 albums I'm showing now, I know I've shown before, but these are 2 great folk rock albums from England. And both are reissues because these albums are hard to find. Trader Horne, Morning Way. I need to look to make sure I don't misspeak. It's been a while. I think that Judy Dibble, yep, she was originally with Giles, and Fripp as they were forming King Crimson. She was originally part of that. She's on here. The other guys, Jackie McCauley. I know these names. I do. I'd have to look them up to tell you more. You folks that know, John, do you know this album? You express interest in folk rock. Apparently you have it in your collection. Do you have this? This album is wonderful. I can't remember what the word's about. For me, again, I can get caught up in the words, like when it's storytelling, songs of unrequited love and all that stuff. It's like, it just goes in one ear out the other. It's the setting. This is really good musically, and I like her voice too. That's one. the T's are right here, so I can grab these quickly. This is an album that, when I first saw it, Hypnosis, the great Hypnosis. I was just showing you this right here, so I can make the. It's right here. Excuse me, folks. It's right here. So let me make the connection between Hypnosis and great record covers. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, so I just bought this Gravy Train. I was telling you about this. An album I'd been after for a long time, and the cover is by Hypnosis, the folks who made the famous Pink Floyd covers and other great covers. Here's another one of their great iconic album covers for the album On the Shore by Trees. I still remember the first time I saw this. It made such an impression on me as a kid. I only saw it in the shops in Omaha once when it first came out. I mean, that was a long time ago. And then this album is so iconic to me that when I was in Japan in '94 working, every opportunity that I had, my my friends who were my what's the word? They were, I was their guest. They would take me record shopping because they were record nuts too. And I will never forget spotting this in a shop in Tokyo, Shibuya, on the wall there. This back in the 90s. And they want something like, $300 for this. Back then it was like, that was a lot of money in 94. Excuse me. I just remember seeing it and just like, yeah, that's a record I'd really like to have. And thankfully, this is very good. This is one of those records that they coulda, shoulda, woulda been right along with Fairport Convention, Pentangle, Clive's original band, incredible string band. They really, it really is that good. Excuse me, I'm doing this while I'm gonna do it. Put it back in the plastic. So these are some folk rock albums that I can show you, John, and one more, since I do have it, and got it not that long ago, a reissue of Tree's first album, The Garden of Jane Delaunay. I love this stuff. It does take me away. It does take me away. Like sometimes it's like reading a fairy tale or fiction. Beautiful kind of bone color vinyl. It takes me away from my immediate setting. I love it. I love it. I do. Joseph B., thank you. I got your message that you got the Muse. People are saying that they really enjoy, interlude, that they find interlude to be good driving music, and it is. It's good music, but if you give my music a chance, if you don't just listen to this once, you'll discover the depth, and you will discover that my soul is in this music. It is. This music, some of these pieces move me. They do, and I get captivated by it to the point I have days still where my music will be the best thing that I can hear, It's not ego. I'm just, I'm trying to say. So, Joseph, thank you. I hope you folks listen to it more than once, and go through the tracks. It's not background music when I'm making it. It's music to keep me alive. It is. There's always other little things that I was thinking that I can't call, but it's about 20 minutes exactly. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign off. I do like the interaction. Okay, some questions seem to me too trite to answer. Okay, like when someone asks me about a album but they don't know the name of it. You're asking me to do work for you. But like I've had queries about the one about performing. Then in the past, I've had people ask me other questions regarding human behavior and people. I like those questions. So ask away. One person says that he's looking to have me on his channel. Well, dust that thing up. I took a look over at your channel. It's like it doesn't look like there's much going on over there. So let's get that shit popping. Before you have me over there. Let's have a reason for it. Okay. All right. Seriously. Okay. So to get back to the first thing about my cousin Ray, I hope that he'll settle down and not take advantage of me. I'm not his personal ambulance, okay? He like I said, 3 times in less than 2 weeks, he's gone to the ER and called me. Okay? Okay. Have a good day. Talk to you later.